crucial battleground. See, it's really this projection right now. See, it projects in Texas. We go to Dallas. State of Texas has expected that North Dakota is free to elect. See, it projects South Dakota will go to South Dakota is expected and see, it projects that Wyoming will go to Donald Trump. Wyoming with its three electoral votes. See, it is not making any projections in the following states that just closed their polls. Arizona, that's a big battleground. Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, battleground Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, and battleground Wisconsin. Let's look at the electoral map now. Donald Trump has 154 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 27 electoral votes. 270 are needed to win. Let's bring you a key race alert now. In battleground Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris is leading with 64.4% of the vote. Donald Trump is 34.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris is the lead there with 326,000 plus votes. Only an estimated 16% of the vote has been cast in Pennsylvania. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris is the lead, 54.8% of the vote. Donald Trump is 43.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 55,000 plus vote lead. That's what only an
Welcome everybody that's joining.
Still very early in Michigan. In battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump
Let's wear live on
1.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris
Thanks for joining.
47.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with a more than 106,000 vote lead. That's with 39% of the estimated vote counted in battleground North Carolina. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump will lead there, 52.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 46.6% of the vote. Kamala Harris is a healthy 41,000 plus vote lead, with an estimated 66% of the vote counted in Georgia. As counted, meaning the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald Trump in the lead there. 49.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 48.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with 13,334 votes lead. That's what half the vote counted in the Commonwealth of Virginia, 50%.
Let me know what y'all think winners tonight. Check.
Votes, that's about a quarter, 45% of the estimated vote counted in the grand state of New Hampshire. In Ohio, 53% of the vote Donald Trump with a 197,000 plus vote. That's what half the vote counted in Ohio, 50% of the vote counted in Ohio. That's what John Kane and the national count. They start this one this call there. Show the face Saturday at the moment. If you're a Republican, you might say, wow, the route, Democratic, they don't have to be worried. You know, we're going into that. First of all, it's going to get out, don't make it feel because every red state here, Donald Trump won in 2020, when he lost the White House. The blue state of fact so far provides very good money. We don't have Illinois, yes, a long time. So as we move rapidly, this has to change in the near future. At least that's our expectation. Keep in mind, that's what that get there. Really, these things, so let's see again, it's an unusual map at the moment. Just because the vote has been before, we don't have to go my lifetime. But it's Nebraska right now, statewide. But you know, the vice president, we see most of the votes right here. That's not so much more than statewide, but it's obviously Nebraska is being wrong. Nebraska, second, Nebraska is right here. Nebraska, state. Eastern Nebraska, but the vice president, see Nebraska state, so again, moving south in Kansas. You all
What's up, boys?
Still has 5%. We even now it's 49.4%. That's 14.6%. It's 80,000 plus votes ahead of Larry right now. More than 50%. Yes, people are counting about the Kamala Harris. Has 46% of the Kamala Harris being set. Plus will be that's more than 14% of the vote in the grand state of in Ohio. There, 49% of the vote Harris. That's 45%. 45% of the vote with a 75% plus that's more than half percent of the vote counted in Ohio. The back. Beginning to see more states still in votes, but it's very early going. Still, you'll see the votes go to the West. You now see what many more states before you go. So take a beat for this one. We'll show you the code. The state really don't get respect. I'm not going to go battleground. I like to show people like South Dakota, for instance, this is the drive to the grass, vice president, carrying the state statewide. We're only at 27% again. Most of it's ready to see from back here west. Trump tends to run it up. Go back to the 2020 exam that we're talking about. That's what tends to happen. And so we're not there yet. That happens.
It's all good, bro. Just enjoy. We're gonna see what happens.
Keep an eye on that. First motion is not. The battleground so stops it, and you walk the place out where the place is go off here. Show you go back to the live. Instead of like 20,000 votes, do that 46%. But then you move back to the line.
All right, bro. Let me know what's going on Talking Dogs. So last week.
Joe Biden say she has something spare. It's a little bit of a coalition. You don't need a lot. This last week, they had a very interesting jump in the turn off. We'll see it later in the night.
Make sure response on this. I sent you earlier.
about Puerto Ricans and about Mexicans and about Latino and Hispanic Americans. If you're going to see an impact, it's one place. Campaign traffic ban. We're only at 20%. We get to do this for nonprofit. Go back in time. Lehigh County, 2020, 53%. The vice president. We want that. Only at 20%. Right now.
Everybody joining the live, thank you for joining. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate your support. Want to engage with y'all. What y'all thinking. Feel free to ask me any questions. It's just I'm on here. Talk about politics, talk about anything. Talk about I don't really care. Yeah, talk about sports. Whatever y'all want to talk about. We just have to watch party. See what happens. See if I gotta unlock my safe. Together.
Smaller. Again, we're growing. Back to 2024. We got 40%. What it's really spending votes, spend it credit Democrat. But we want to wait to get more to see if that protection at the moment. South Casey, President of the United States, not alone Pennsylvania, in place. We will see if that will top. So it's not. Over County, Pennsylvania. Now we're from getting 71% there. Half of them did. Again, Donald Trump warmed it up. Donald County, South America. 75% of the land. It's county goes right there. But this Trump makes pretty out safety battle. In a place like Pennsylvania, you used to run it off in places like this. Just grab again, it's only 5%. 75%. 70%. Again, even in small little towns. It's only about a lot of Democrat voters, a lot of voters, but they kind of feel secure. They get rejected. Virginia, yeah, we got a lot of this would be a shock. So you just take a look and say, what's this? I really yeah.
Kamala cannot lose in Virginia.
CNN can predict that Illinois will vote for Kamala Harris.
Way to go, Illinois. Wow, I'm sitting at. Not that that was ever really. She can carry Illinois to Chicago.
207. Neither of them is within study distance, and that is take a look at the actual votes that the ballots get done. Projected.
Try to keep it up there, those guys.
57.5% of the vote got from 41.5% of the vote got Harris with 258,000 plus vote lead. That's what the ballot for. Senate has been voted. Pennsylvania has now ballot Michigan got Harris with 53.7% of the vote.
Well, in Michigan.
Harris with these plus vote lead. That's with an estimated 12% of the vote count. Still very early in Michigan. Carolina, 50.7% of the vote Harris, 48.1% of the vote. Ballot probably 75 plus vote lead. That's more than half, 1%. Estimated vote counting.
Come on, North Carolina.
Still holding on this week. 2.9%.
Home State, get it together. Georgia, y'all got to get it together for sure.
Virginia. That's 48.7%.
If she loses Georgia, she got to put it up.
Still a lot of Harris with 53.4%. Under a third of the vote counted in New Hampshire, 30% against the vote counted in New Hampshire and Ohio. 3% of the vote. Harris with 24.8% of the vote. With a 330,000 plus vote lead, that's with all of 60%, with 80% of yes vote counted in the Buckeye state. Now let's go to Doc. So getting the lab the results, and there's some pride for that. These are where we are right now. We just go back and all of them. Some of the outstanding on PO, Virginia is early vote. That percentage is going down. The five in that vote. I just want to show you what you mean by how to change. And also, taking the training from 16,000 up to 12,000, 395 down. The suburbs here. So show you the surface of the there. Where are there outstanding votes? You know, are out there. See the big circle, the biggest circle around the world. That's a bigger problem. Down here, and some here in the other towards the south, yeah, so south of the so I'm gonna focus up here to show you why you can say early on, I say, well, the town can change pretty quickly. The more population, the let's take Fairfax County. The largest suburban county, the number one county population wise in Virginia. The vice president is getting 63% of the vote, 63% of the vote in. Look at the numbers, 250,000. They'll turn out for plus, I think we should be somewhere around 2020. In 2024, maybe somewhere around 250,000 votes right now. Go back to 490,000. So she's winning 60+%. The president's winning 70% 4 years ago. Get by comparison, 66. Look a lot. Looks like it's going to be a little more competitive. But you can see just right there in that one county. There's a lot of votes still out. Winning 50% in the back right now. That can change. But in general, in fact, yeah, about 60% of the vote. And so just in that right there, doesn't mean it will. However, there's more than enough Democratic votes still outstanding, the votes outstanding in the Democratic Party. That's for that to happen. So let's check in the other ballot counts. So for this one, again, go back in time. This is the closest vote from victory in the battleground. So the battleground is 74,000 votes, 474,483. 4 years ago, it was 110, and right now, it's only at 54% of the vote, right? So you see the gray here. The way it comes to the whole count. It's okay. 10% of the population, but it's not tight. Gaston County along the border right there. The big population center, yeah, only 10% of the vote. So if you're looking at this number, you're saying,
What up, lady? I ain't seen you since last year. You doing well? How you doing? What's been up with you? We gotta catch up soon. Let me know if you want to jump on here real quick. You chop it up. I ain't doing nothing to watch TV. Yeah, bro. Just seeing, we ain't gonna know nothing until damn near 12 o'clock. So just watching, see what they talking about, seeing if anything interesting happening. Um, Prior to watching this, come on, slightly. The shorts. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I can't call it for real. It's shaky. It's shaky in places it shouldn't be shaky. What you mean? You want to hop on here? Because I want to know what you really got they playing in our place.
So everybody's happening right now. Right now, explaining what the delay is, as Emily said, it's about education. Some of those write-in ballots, we have spoken with just 2 moments ago, at the 8:15 news conference here, in which he said there was some delay in processing those and getting those 322,000 early in-person and absentee mailing ballots to the state tabulation center to that computer. They statutorily had to be there by 8 p.m. He says that it was just the computer system.
Yo. All right, what you mean they played it? Say.
I feel like in a world that wants a black female to be president so bad, I just feel like it's a man's world, and I just feel like that's not going to happen. I think it's cute. I think the campaign and the rallying and all of this, I think it's cute. I feel like, and that's what I mean by I feel like they're playing in our face. I feel like they put this big old show on, parading around, getting everybody all engaged. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a boy. It's gonna be a boy.
You think it's gonna be a boy? You doing a gender reveal?
But it could also be very, very close. So you know, it really is truly so unpredictable. But I do feel like it's a high probability that they plan on it.
I don't know if they're playing in our face intentionally. And I don't know who the they is that you referring to. The government? You talking about people behind it? You talking about people behind it? Yeah. Honestly and truly, I don't know that that's the case. I think really what it is like the world has become like the United States has become so convoluted and like the issues, and I call this out. I want to say very convoluted in the issues. Like a lot of things get convoluted and mixed up. And I think the issue with Kamala's campaign is like, and this is generally with Democrats, they don't really sell what they've done with. And so, like, yes, could the economy be better? Of course. But our economy is better than every other economy that also deals with the pandemic of any major country. You know what I'm saying? And so, right, because we got money. Like you can't have a good economy with nobody. I think a lot of people look at what their pockets look like, and they forget like if you're coming out of a recession or anything like that, it doesn't change over time. Interest rates after COVID stayed in the 4s and 3s for almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And so I think people just forget like, hey, things have to level out. These companies are trying to make up money that they lost during the pandemic, giving great deals and cutting costs just to like sell their products. So now people want to run it up because they know y'all got the money. Also, I think how like she didn't distance herself. Like I guess you don't want to like throw Joe Biden under the bus because it makes it look like you're ungrateful or whatever. And as a black woman, you never want to be ungrateful for anything. I guess like I'm being facetious when I say it. Yeah. I'm being facetious. What I'm saying is like she probably didn't want to look like she was ungrateful or didn't appreciate the opportunity to be the first Black female vice president. You know what I'm saying? But at a certain point, people, you have to like explain to people like in layman's terms. You have to just keep it simple, stupid for a lot of people, and they just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we could have just did bullet points on where the economy is in comparison to everybody. People would have got that, right? If somebody say something, just debunk it. If you say like, hey, you were in the office when these things were happening. I'm a vice president. The only thing, my biggest power is in Congress as a deciding. I don't have any say. Just as much as like, let's keep it a buck. The president don't really have no say. A lot of stuff. He can say he wants to do things. The president can say they want to do things, but there are checks and balances. Right? There's only so many executive orders the president can do before now you become a dictator. Right? You can't just go around executive orders. Congress has to approve whatever thing that you put out there. And so, like, you have to explain these things to people like they are remedial, because most of them are remedial about policies. Most people didn't pay attention in social studies class when they talk about executive, legislative, and judicial branch. And I think people also have to like wise up. Like Roe versus Wade is only the first thing, right, that was overturned. There is a strong likelihood that the Senate can become Republican. So if anything, if you just want to keep things level steady and not go backwards, you need a Democratic president. That person's going to put things in that allows you to not have like Brown versus Ford, all these other things, policies that were put in to allow Black people, minorities, or just the country as a whole to, benefit and move forward progressively. Be this progressive country.
Yeah, I feel that. To your point about, like you said, too, like a president, they can only do so much, and they can do so much that to the extent that also, like, it's my point of them playing in our face. Like, a lot of people, they sent me stuff, like how people keep saying, which they feel like, oh, he just keeps saying he has a plan, but he hasn't told anybody what the plan is. And to that point, I feel like maybe he's not saying what that plan is because he knows that it's only so much that he can say or promise, especially when he's already kind of in the hot seat or whatever you want to call it. As far as Kamala goes, me personally, I just don't appreciate how Black people are always quick to just base their votes or their choices off of somebody's skin color or them feeling like, oh, our culture is finally being represented. Because honestly, at this point, it's kind of demeaning and condescending. Like Black culture, like Black people as a whole, I feel like we've come so far, and the fact that we keep using things like this as a opportunity to once again try to prove and reinstate that we are who we are and we deserve who we deserve. It's just like I just feel like that's unnecessary at this point. Like, so for that to be aid or like the approach that you're taking for a campaign, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to me. I'm sorry. Like I have people that are coming because they didn't like that I felt like, having Gorilla and Meg Stallion around me twerking and singing these songs is embarrassing. It was like, oh, that we support any other time. No, I don't support ass shaking and objectification and degradation of Black women. I don't support that any time. And I definitely don't expect my president like to be supportive of that because of all these showcasing of Black women, Black culture, whatever. Why is that? Like we clearly have like our media, everything is clearly separated with that. And I just, that's the only thing I can really say that really should, I just do not like personally. And like, I think this person, you know, Obama didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, Obama clearly is intellectual. He got there. He was well prepared, well spoken, said what he was going to do. Did all that or not. It's a certain type of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. So, like, there's no longer any type of, like, honor or prestige behind being in government, you know, and being in politics at this era that we live in. And that clearly happened way before now, but it's just like I just don't think it's appropriate. Certain things are just not appropriate. And that's not to say that the things that Donald Trump says or does are appropriate, but that's just my thing as a black person. I just personally just was not in favor of all of that. But you have some very good points. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Either way it goes, it's gonna be interesting. I think either way it goes, I prefer that we had way better candidates and different candidates. Like I personally just feel like why we can't just start all over with new candidates.
That's not
Like why is that? Like why is that not an option? And then when I voted today, I'm like, oh, shit, like, why is nobody even talking about that or speak on this person? I mean, granted, I don't know if it's just something in there for like, you know, Chuck and you, but it's interesting. It's just gonna be interesting.
Okay, so there's a lot to I think from a black man, I'm not doing this, so I can never speak from a woman's lens. As a black person, do I agree with having Glorilla and Meg show up? I can't say I'm not a fan of that and then be okay with Beyonce. In that case, keep also. Yeah. But again, Beyonce is a big voice that has a lot of issues. And I think the thing is like you have to have those people appeal. And you don't want Gorilla or Meg getting up there and talking or giving a speech. I think they're more there for energy and entertainment than really trying to be a representation of the campaign. Is like, hey, how do I engage with the younger crowd? When Obama came in, we were coming off George Bush and 8 years of war over war that we don't really know if we were winning or losing, if it didn't make sense. And the previous president had a sex scandal. So Obama was a welcome change of an articulate, highly educated man that happened to be black and white. Like we can't forget he also white. And he was just different. It was a different voice. Like having someone articulate that was not from the South, that was just going to galvanize, and he's a fairly attractive man. So he also bringing in women that are fetishizing over attractive black men that's articulate this part, right? And then you also have the appeal of like being the first black male president, and inspiring that, right? And so in converse, then you get Tea Party, you get MAGA because now not a white people of a certain lifestyle feel like they are being left behind, right? You have them doing things to overturn Roe versus Wade, not because they want to take women's reproductive rights away, but because white people are going to be no longer be the majority in the United States. Like there are deeper things than they just trying to take away. They don't care if black people and brown people abort their babies. That's not the issue. They don't want white women aborting babies. Like, and so that becomes the issue more than anything. I think it is like I get being wanting to vote for the third party. I identify as a libertarian. I don't identify as a Democrat or Republican because I am against government being involved in anything other than policing, making sure that people are not. I don't want them telling me how to live my life as an individual. I don't want them telling me what to do with my money. Like, mind your business. But at the same time, I'm logical enough to know that Jill Stein, Robert F. Kennedy, they're not going to get enough votes. So I have to vote for a viable candidate that can win, that aligns with enough of my values and policies that I agree with. And I tend to lean towards those parties that are going to not impede on people's personal rights. Because as a Black person, I could never vote for somebody that is going to oppress or take away somebody else's autonomy as a person. When it comes to business, there's tax codes and things to get around all those things when it comes to economic policies. Right? Each party's going to provide economic policies for entrepreneurs. If you get to a point where you get taxed, the way they think that Democrats don't tax you, I didn't pay no taxes. So, like there are ways to connect the tax code. But that knowledge is readily available on Instagram. I didn't learn this. Huh? Hey, Fisher, my thing is, Fisher, I got as much ass shaking and sexy women and back and like raunchy comedy as I do entrepreneurship and religious and all that stuff. Fix your algorithm. Like more stuff that has to do about making some money to balance it out. Follow my podcast. I don't care. Like figure out a way to like level yourself up that don't require you going to school or doing this deep dive. There's so many ways to just like fight tax. Accounting. They'll tell you very quickly how to like avoid paying your taxes, or not avoid paying your taxes, but avoid owing taxes or getting a refund. People be buying like, oh, I want to go buy a BMW. Okay, buy a BMW, we'll buy it for you. You can write that as a commercial vehicle. Like it be real simple stuff. It ain't really that hard. People make it hard. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Kamala, like, I don't feel like they're putting her out there to just put her out there. Like, at the end of the day, she was a rising star in politics, like going from being attorney general. She's moderate enough to appeal to both sides, or people that are like leaning or moderate. Like, I consider myself a moderate, right? And so that's why I say I'm a libertarian, because I do like some policies I agree with on Democrats, some policies I agree with Republicans. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the only way to win in this country is to be somewhat in the middle and appeal to all sides. And that's why a lot of people have problems with Obama, because he wasn't a Black president. He was a president for everybody, which is what you're supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to be the president for just one race. That's what Donald Trump is. He's the president for one race. Like, and only a specific segment of that race. You know what I'm saying? So I can't jive with anybody that would say, "Oh, I'm gonna vote for Trump because the economy was better when he was president." Yet he also was the person fucked up. Like, if you just followed Obama's pandemic plan, yeah, we would have had more issues, but we probably would have got out of the pandemic much quicker. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like simple shit. Also, I don't believe if you are above the age for retirement that you should be running this country. You are out of touch. You are likely to have a heart attack and die. And I don't know who your vice president is. I didn't want Biden either. That was a lesser of two evils. And he looked senile by the end of his, he looked senile now. You know what I'm saying? He was senile. Damn near senile at the point when he got elected. So for me, it'd be like, just like there's a cap or a requirement to become president, which is, if you don't know, age 35, you cannot run for president if you are not 35 years old. And then, but there should be a cap, Like, bro, if you are old enough to claim Social Security, you do not need to run the country. You could be a senator, you can do it, you can be a congressman, but you cannot run this country. Because most of the populace does not look like you. They are not in your age. And you are making policies for people that are going to be grandparents by the time these policies go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that'd be my whole issue. And most people don't want to go into politics. Politics is like it's not really beneficial to the person. Like to be president, there's no benefit. You don't make the money. You can't get involved in certain things. Like so, and you get people trying to kill you. Like I don't want to be president for you. Like other than psychopath. You know what I'm saying? So I think to want to be president, you have to something got to be off. Yeah, like I don't. Why would you want to be the person that is responsible for the direction of everybody? So you're either a narcissist or somebody push you to do it. A lot of people get pushed to being president. If somebody try to push me, I'd be like, no, okay. Like when I was younger, before Obama was president, that was something I was like, oh, I would love to be the first black president. And then I start learning what goes into being the president and how much power the president actually has. And I started looking at how old people look after they stop being president, and like how dangerous it is to be president in this country. No, thank you. And that's part of the reason I don't like. I fear for Kamala if she does me. Like, could you imagine being the first, like the second president to be assassinated or third? Well, they have to try. Nah, I don't put it above. I don't put it above. I don't put it above nobody. I think they tried to assassinate Obama. He was like the most. I want to say he was like the most. He had the most assassinations of any sitting president when he was. We just don't know about those because they don't talk about it. Of course, they don't tell you that people trying to kill you. No, Trump keeps trying to tell you that they tried to kill him. But they arrested somebody outside the golf course with guns in open carry state. That could have been me. Going to the gun range with my AR-15. You know what I'm saying? The likelihood, like I feel like all that shit in Pennsylvania. How do you get that close to shooting somebody and get that ear? Like you got to be like supremely accurate to only hit his ear. You know what I'm saying? Kid was a registered Republican. Yeah, he was a registered Republican, and then they tried to say he donated $15 to some Democratic front in Chicago. Yeah, so I take all that stuff with a grain of salt. He's saying, oh, like these things or whatever. But we gonna see. I don't know what the hell's going on in Virginia with Kamala's numbers though. It's not looking great. You gotta figure that. These numbers are way tighter. So our campaign can figure it out.
More people like to basically on here higher and just get everybody some of this objective information.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't want to hear. They think they know, or like you said, they vote because Kamala black. I'm gonna vote for Kamala because she's black and she went to HBCU. Like, okay. Like there are people talking about Kamala, who they about her convicting all these black people. And I was like,
they came up with Biden.
What you mean?
They were talking about that nobody amazing. They were talking about, you know, she was running for vice president. They were running all that stuff. About how she's dirty and fraud and all that stuff.
Any excuse to use.
It is, but we will see. Because the boy, I will not be seeing other outfits.
Since you're gonna get made one way or the other, you're gonna have it.
It really is, but I just want to know if it's going to be safe to try to that's what I respect for all you
I mean, you better get your travel in before January 6th. Get your travel in before January 6th. All right. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for joining. Let's see.
2024 will not be identical to 2020. States will count most votes faster.
Percent of the vote in Pennsylvania. In Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead there, 51.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 47.2% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 204,640 vote lead. That's with 81% of the estimated vote in Georgia. In Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead, 51.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with 47% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 43,307 vote lead. That's with an estimated 19% of the vote. In Battleground, Michigan, and Battleground, North Carolina, Donald Trump in the lead, 52.4% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.4% of the vote. Donald Trump with 253,752 more votes as of right now than Kamala Harris. 70% of the estimated vote. In New Mexico, Kamala Harris in the lead, 50.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with 47.6% of the vote. That means Harris has an 8,592 vote lead over Trump. That's with less than a third, 31% of the estimated vote in from New Mexico, still early in New Mexico. Kamala Harris takes the lead again in Virginia with 49.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with 49% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 1,118 vote lead. That's with 68% of the estimated votes in from Virginia. John, what do you want to talk about? Never changing that. We can talk about it all. We'll walk through. Let's take a quick look at that and what happened there. Right, so last time I was here in Fairfax, that's what happened last time I was in Fairfax. It was a much lower number than I get. It's still largest county in Virginia, 20-minute drive from DC. Thank traffic can get 40-minute drive from DC, but it's a pretty 20-minute drive. At least this time, I want to give it a try. That's one of the things that happened there. You see, close to suburb, Alexandria, smaller, much smaller population. It's very different leads. So, this is the 10-point race for Joe Biden. So if you're seeing even if Harris wins it, it's closer. Does that tell you you have a more competitive environment elsewhere? Or does it tell you Donald Trump's doing well in one state? Because sometimes there's that as a Republican governor since the last presidential election. So you have to be careful about these things. So let's just see what's still out there. This margin's going to change. I mean, there's a Republican vote down here, but there's plenty of opportunity for that tie, slight Harris lead to turn into something else. It's the surprise of the night so far, right, in terms of how close it is, but it just flipped low. So let's come back to 20 minutes and go and see how we're doing. This is the most interesting one. Chapters on state in Commonwealth of Pennsylvania just look red. Remember earlier I was saying 3 blue wall states that stayed blue throughout the night. We're not nowhere near the end. We're nowhere near the end. We're at 51% right there. But you see that? So here we go. Battleground, Pennsylvania. Again, one of these. Just jumped up. He wasn't the cheapest in there. Yeah. But John, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have an update on the outstanding vote in Georgia. Georgia, Victor Black was in the Clinton County Election Center in Atlanta. So Lawrenceville. Victor, what are you hearing about the vote count there?
Well, Jake, I have supervisor elections for Gwinnett County with me now, Zach Manifold. Thank you for a few minutes here. We've been told that there is a large tranche of votes that's soon going to be reported. How many and how soon?
Yeah, we're just working with the state to go over it. We have uploaded it to the state, so they're just going through it, and it should be up here in a few minutes. So yeah, about 320,000 advanced and in person and absentee by mail. They're coming.
Okay, so 323,000, and when you say minutes, we're talking 5, 10 minutes?
I don't know. It's with the state, so they like they'll review it and they'll tell us which those results.
And can you simplify what in the adjudication process held up these votes for hours?
Yeah, it was just loading slow. I'm not sure what caused that to happen. It usually isn't that slow. It was just literally kind of excruciatingly slow. But like I said, we got it resolved, and moving forward and getting out those results.
This is also a problem that happened in 2020, was it not?
I don't know. It's not here in 2020, so I'm not sure. I know they had issues similar, but I'm not sure.
So this has now been resolved. We should not expect this to be a problem with adjudicating ballots moving forward.
No, you shouldn't see this from the election day. And we actually do have all 156 precincts, locations. Their memory cards are in the office now, so we've got everybody back. They're actually going to start running those memory cards now.
So after those 323, it should move pretty quickly.
Yeah. We're expecting it to pick up.
Technical supervisor elections here in Gwinnett County. I'll take that to Jay.
Thanks, Victor. Let's get more on Georgia from Sarah Murray, who's at the Fulton County Elections Hub outside Atlanta. Sarah, what are you hearing about the outstanding votes there?
Well, Jay, for all the flag that Fulton County gets for our runs its elections, things have been going very smoothly and very steadily here tonight. They have these memory cards coming in, they're uploading the day of election vote, and they're hoping in Fulton County to be able to upload all of their day of voting by 11 p.m. Now, there is another large county where things are going a little bit slower, kind of like Gwinnett and DeKalb County. I spoke to them a little bit ago. They said they don't have a number of what their overall election day count was. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to get through it. They're just chugging through it little by little. Now, in Cobb County, another large county here in Georgia, they said they still had less than 1,000 absentee mail-in ballots that they had to get through. And they also had 85,000 votes. That was their day of votes that they were turning to. They, too, are hoping to be done by 11 p.m. The last thing they talked to is Clayton County. They were also working through their day of voting. They had hoped to have it done by 10 p.m. It looks like they're missing that deadline a little bit, but they were definitely saying they only had a handful of precincts left, about 13 precincts when they talked to them about half an hour ago, and they were still trying to upload the day of voting for. So things seem to be going pretty smoothly. And behind me, you get a little bit of sense of the process. This is where the memory cards came through. They just brought them through. They checked them in. Here with a police officer, they get scanned in, and then over in this glass room, we're showing you this is where these memory cards are removed. We start to see them uploaded. So that's what's happening here in Fulton County. Hopefully, we'll have more for you. Brian.
Pointing out to the county to look around the Atlanta suburbs, as you know, she's in Fulton County, which is here. But this is where the big outstanding vote is. So let's just come back statewide first, sort of the context. The Trump lead now 170,000 votes. Go 200,000. So it has come down. So let's just walk through what we just heard real quickly. Fulton County, you're at 84%, but this is the #1 population center, the largest population center in the state. Also, a hugely Democratic state. That's where we're waiting for votes. Also, Gwinnett County #2 in terms of the population, plus the other counties right around Atlanta. Any kind of Democratic Jake has to come there. So when we get more of those votes, we'll be able to at least get closer to being able to answer the question: is that lead that Donald Trump has saved, or are there enough votes out there for Vice President Donald to catch up and pass?
All right, John, thanks so much. We have another projection. CNN can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Ohio. Ohio is expected to go to Donald Trump. Ohio is 17 electoral votes. What does that mean for the electoral count? Matt, Donald Trump has 195 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 91 electoral votes. 270 are needed to win. John Kane.
Well, Jake, as we watch more of the map fill in, and this welcome to election night, we're down about 10-20 in the east, and we're moving across. You see both as far west as Montana, and New Mexico and Arizona starting to come into the map. We haven't touched this one all that. Let's take a quick look out there in Arizona. Election night, and it's 10:24. You see right here, the Arizona Senate coming in. It's very close. Right there, we're about half. That's 50% of the vote. It's pretty fascinating. Get back there. Let's move more to the east. And some of the battlegrounds that we know were absolutely key to the path to 270. And an interesting development. Again, it's early. We're still counting votes, but Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, half an hour ago, we're all still blue. Now Wisconsin has flipped to red only by 8,000 votes, and we're only at 47% reporting. And so there are two ways this happens. Donald Trump is overperforming someplace where he hasn't before, or we're just filling in the rural counties. So let's get a look at the map and see what we have here. Number one, let's look at the live outstanding vote. Right, so you got big blue dot here in Milwaukee, big blue dot here in Madison, the blue dots out here in the area, but a lot of red dots as well. And so Donald Trump with a very narrow lead in Wisconsin, which welcome again 2 elections in a row, 20,000 votes change, 22,000 votes, 20,000 votes. This certainly shapes up to look like we're going to have another one of those, a photo finish in Wisconsin. A lot of outstanding votes, so it's hard to make any projections or analysis except to say Wisconsin again is incredibly close. So let's come back out and move over to Battleground, Michigan. This one here, for those of you familiar, if you watch a lot of cable television, you've seen Debbie Dayton, the Democratic Congresswoman from west of Detroit, Washington County, and Auburn is her district. Over the weekend, she got a lot of attention for saying she was nauseously optimistic about Michigan. I was texting her a little while ago. She said she's cautiously optimistic now. I checked. I said, upgrade. Cautiously optimistic is better than nauseously optimistic, according to the Congresswoman. This is her district right here. This is one of the things I highlighted earlier. Washington County is the home of Ann Arbor, home of the University of Michigan, home of a campus, been there several times, where they have a remarkable voting operation, encouraging young people to vote, encouraging students who live out of state to switch their registration to Michigan, so they vote battleground state. If you're from a state, it's not a battleground state. So this is very important to the Democratic coalition. 66% right now, around that for the vice president, with 60% of the vote reporting. And again, 73% for Vice President Biden. If it ends up that way, that's a problem. Doesn't mean you can't make it up somewhere else. But if you're losing votes in one key county, losing percentages in one key county, you better make them up somewhere else. Track below. Now, Michigan is the one state, come back to the 2020 example, where you could argue the vice president has a little bit to lose, if you will. It's not Wisconsin, 20,000 votes. It's not Georgia, 11,000 votes. It's not Arizona, 10,000 votes. It's 154,000 votes. So if you want to argue a 2020 replay, the vice president has a little bit more to lose in the state Joe Biden won relatively comfortably when it comes to the battleground. But still, if you're the vice president of the United States, you don't like the fact that Washington County is so close. So now we come up to Hingham County. This is where you find Michigan State University, Lansing, the state capital. The combination of those two things, the state capital and a big university, normally says that's Democratic area. And it is. It's at 59% if you round up to the vice president. But again, go back in time. Danger zone, 65% for the president 4 years ago. How much can she give up will become the question if you find more counties like that where she's underperforming.
Not also.
Obviously, believe, you know, particularly with, you know, math.
I mean, I think that's really sentiment for more black people. Because we still live in the United States. Yeah, it's that we live here. We live the experience of being black, and whether people want to admit it or not, there are always some like innate disadvantages when you are when you're black. Like there are people that I like. You gotta think about like the hiring process, right? Like people are more likely to hire someone that they can relate to or identify with, right? And so, it's very hard to like get rid of unconscious bias. Like you gotta, it's a skill. It's not a skill that most. And so. Yeah, so and so with that, people be like things that should automatically resonate. Oh, this nigga's a rapist. This nigga is a fraud. Like it's like, oh, it ain't that bad. He's saying he grabbed him by the pussy. He let a nigga get on stage and call Puerto Rico trash. Like a garbage. Like don't none of that stuff happen without okay. Yeah, that's cool. Like it was on the teleprompter, bro. Like so y'all thought that joke. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, but then at the same time, the layer on Kamala being black, her being a woman. Like she's being held to, oh, she should stop being negative. Really? But what they were saying, like she was going to me with Jack. Like going like the I get it. I get the perspective of he throwing Jack. They're like she should be above. But negative works for some people. Like but I said earlier when I was talking to the homie on here, is that the Democrats suck at highlighting their wins, highlighting the positives. You're like, yeah. You put out playlists. Yeah, he doesn't play with his hair yet, like it's like so.
Oh, okay.
But not. Yeah, he been doing. I don't know him to do a post reference. I didn't know he was doing it. I mean, that's what she's supposed to do. She's the vice president. She's supposed to be not seen. What was Biden doing other than falling asleep and well, I think there is a fundamental difference in Biden and Kamala and who they were serving, right? Obama was a very junior senator that had very little foreign policy experience, like zero. He needed Biden because Biden had been dealing with foreign policy stuff for 20 years. But when it's just like Dick Cheney. When you're the vice president and you have a president that has very little foreign policy like experience, and most of the stuff that gets coverage is foreign policy or economy, then if you're the person that's going and being the face of the foreign policy, then you're going to be looked at differently than like, oh, you just the vice president. Like Kamala can just talk about the fact that she was the deciding vote and mad shit getting passed in the Senate. You know what I'm saying? But again, the things that they have failed to do is talk about the fact that we have the best economy of any major country. Like, I literally was just talking to my manager about this, right? We was on our team meetings, and he was like, I was like, I'm literally not about to talk to my customers no more about the economy. He was like, well, it's still, I was like, no, the economy's not. He was like, well, interest rate, well, it's not that. He was like, well, interest rates are still high. Interest rates were never low. Y'all comparing interest rates to when the pandemic happened. Them interest rates is not normal. It's not normal to have an interest rate of 3% for a house. We have y'all compare interest rates to when there was a pandemic and a damn near a mini recession. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like now, if we talk about like where things were pre-pandemic, the interest rates are low-key normal. The only thing that is high compared to the pandemic is grocery prices. But again, farmers and produce companies and all those people were hit disproportionately compared to businesses. Because like tech companies, well, you got to think about like manufacturing was slow, processing slow, importing slow, exporting slow. Because if I export my produce and things, my products that I sell at the grocery store to other countries, and I got to make up those costs. Yeah, it's just rotting. Right, like it's not a tech product. It's not a hard manufacturing product. Like I can just let that shit sit here and when you know what I'm saying? And so people they would hit over their head. So yeah, they're gonna be like, hey, and then I'm not even the map don't matter right now to the college. You know what I'm saying? So it's shifting color. Well, it's shifting the color based on who's leading right now. It's not saying that you actually, yeah, and then yeah, like she go she gonna win narrowly in Virginia. She gonna win narrowly in some of these states. But the main state she cannot lose is Pennsylvania. She cannot lose. Yeah, you click on the map and it'll tell you.
Yes. In the state of there, the executive of Prince George's County, Democrat, will defeat former Trump. She first African American. Another projection of this state of Delaware. Congressman recently defeats Eric Hansen, a former Walmart executive. Elected to the Senate from Delaware. She will win former NYPD. Let's give you some updates. Lone Star State, Texas.
I'm looking at the Senate race. I was hoping that Ted Cruz, sorry, yes. But he
Scott Morrill.
you gotta think about percentages, like what percentage is reported.
2020 election
No, I've been before. Yeah. I'm just not trying to look at my last.
So what do all these results mean? The two Democratic chamber right now that
Yeah, so what Marquise is saying in the chat, like, you got to look at more percentages reported, and what that percentage, like, that's outstanding represents, right? So like if 200,000 people, and it's saying like 50%, that means there's another 200,000 votes that haven't been. You know what I'm saying?
44,000 votes. Let's see. 1% of the voting. Nearly $500 million spent on this race currently.
You said 60.
261,000 votes. 84. Donald Trump. And this is the twist I was talking about before. No one expected this Senate to be this close.
All of it blew, all of it.
11,000 votes. Deb Fisher, 48%.
Yeah, I ain't never been. The only place I've been in Pennsylvania is Philly, in the suburbs of Philly. Yeah, I know. Black people used to go to the Poconos.
And we are 11. People 78 elections.
Poconos are in Pennsylvania.
The White House.
The only thing I care about in school was social studies and geography. Social studies, geography, PE, lunch. Yeah.
These results. Also, very. Campaign tonight is holding out hope for more votes to get in. Always said that the wall was the most straightforward path. Now, that's not only.
Bro, it's early. We're not gonna really have any like we won't have like a strong idea of what's going on. So, like, so, well, 10 o'clock your time.
Years ago. Yeah. It's a people club to be in. You hear about more shit like election.
Because these policies gonna affect your kids more than they're gonna affect you for real.
Yeah, this is my seventh question.
Well, at least you're in California. Most of the shit ain't gonna impact you. I think the people that live in blue states, you gotta really worry about it. I gotta convince my mom to leave Georgia so they don't enslave that. Nah, I'm on it Friday. Well, y'all just got Cruz back for another 60 however many years. Nah, he was senator. Yeah, but he one of the people that orchestrated the insurrection. He when Texas froze over, the grid froze over and everything, motherfucker went to Mexico. Yeah. No, but he supposed to be like helping the people. Nah, Texas red, bro. As many people as many liberals there are in Houston, Dallas, and Austin, that state too big, bro. But it really don't be just white people voting red. Canada.
I think we
You better get the translator. Yeah, nah, I don't know where I'm from. If I don't know where. I want to say I want to go to Canada, like Toronto or something. But it's so fucking cold. I'm already sweating or something. Yeah, bro. I always get Californians that don't speak Spanish. Like, yeah. And you got Latino homies. You know what I mean?
You also see a lot of people who got because yes,
You see, I'm repping for that. Yeah. I wasn't even trying to be on the other shit. I just wanted to work like. You know? Nah, I didn't want to wear my blue one. My blue one gold. I had no like blue and gold. Like I had no fit down. Blue. I mean, it had nothing to do with her going out. It had nothing to do with everything to do with like. I want my president to be like someone that is respected, somebody I respect as a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to agree with everything you do, but I have to respect you as a person. Also, I typically do not vote Republican because they are a party that likes to oppress. As a black man, I cannot align myself with any party that seek to oppress people with their personal life. And tell them to oppress them. Like I took a test, like a political test or something. So like what I learned, I'm technically an anarchist. So I don't believe in government involvement. Period. So like yeah, like I don't need the government to tell me. I don't need the government to tell me what to do with my money. Because if you didn't check my money, you know what I'm saying? But as a person, what can I deal with more? Can I deal with you involving yourself in my business and my money? Or would I rather not deal with you telling me how to live my life, how I want like, and so like for me it's like I can't align with the party. They can't be who they want to be. I can't control your body. Like I'm not pro-abortion. Like you'll never hear me like, hey, people should go get abortion. Yeah. But I understand that life is life. So if you pro-life, then I have to protect life, even if it includes killing the baby, so a woman knows because it's not. Right? And so okay, we go tie it into like pop culture. There's a reason that women wear wigs, right? Not every woman wears a wig because she has to. She wants to wear a wig. Some people have to. Right? Yeah. And not everybody has an abortion because they want to have an abortion. Right? And so, whether because you rape, incest, the child is going to come out like stillborn, you could die. There are many reasons for a woman to be able to have an abortion. On top of like, if she decides she don't want to have a baby, she don't want to have a baby. Because okay, she's going to California. But like, I look at it like this, right? Would you rather a baby be born and not be able to be supported, end up in jail, end up in prison because the parent can't afford to care for the child? You neglect it, become statistic, or would you rather that person decide, hey, I'm not in a place to have this child, and I think financially it would be more responsible for me to have it. Right. Right. Yeah. And the government shouldn't be involved. Yeah, so, but again, like I said earlier, these abortion like bans ain't got nothing to do with them wanting black people, brown people, minorities not having abortion. They don't want white people. Because there was a study that came out by 2032. Yeah, like in the next 10 years, white people won't be the majority. Yeah, and white women have more abortions than men. I mean, they're the largest. They a larger part of the population. So we 13%, Mexicans like 15%, Asians like 8%. So they not they like 60. I think it's more 60. But they're going to trend below 50%. Yeah, and then you got to think about all the mixed people. So these white men like, oh, we're not going to be the majority no more. We're going to have. And now your family is no longer here. Right? Now you got to reconcile your races. You know what I'm saying? Right. How grandpa gonna be racist and his granddaughter? Right. Got to fire off on it. But yeah, like I mean, yeah, but all that said, like yeah, I voted for Kamala because I agree with the policy. Economically, if the economist is saying her economic policies are going to, keep us at least status quo or move us in a better direction, and what Trump is going to do is going to put us in a recession. If 99% of economists are saying that, why would I vote for the most that's going to make me go poor? It's going to mess up my money. I'm going to say it. I need at least everything to stay where it is, if not improve. But I don't need to be a recession, and I'm in it. Because he's going to report, he's going to do a mass deportation of people that are helping work. He is going to tax the people that don't have no money and give less tax and charge less taxes to the people that got money. It is a known fact that people without money have more money. What do they do? That sounds like simple math, right? What did niggas do when they got the stimulus? They didn't put it in the bank. They didn't hold on to it. They would have spent it. Well, we got PPP loans and what did we buy? Instead of putting that money in the bank and holding on to it or something. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it is a known fact that giving tax breaks to people that don't have money benefits our economy.
Pretty big circles.
the blue areas, large, suburban areas. One second. At this point, you're state dollars.
That would sound good.
Start thinking.
Pre-pandemic. Well, as somebody that sells product, many industries, every company since then, and also somebody that just studied this shit in his MBA. Everybody is now moving towards being lean. What is being lean? Being efficient and effective. So I don't need to overhire like I did last time, because when I did that last time, I had to lay off a bunch of people. AI, that's cool and all, but again, we are a country of excess. So we hire people assuming that there's going to be a need for more business. When in reality, you should hire in real time. Right? And so when by having this thing of like, you don't hire people, you over leverage yourself, because now you got to give them severance packages. You got to put people that were critical, because they are the largest, like, they're the largest portion of your bottom line. You got to do. And I know people go to other companies, so I'd rather say, okay, I'm gonna hire the people that I really need, and if we need to hire more people, we'll do it. Like I'm still in the companies that's making billions of dollars, and they be like, we don't know if we're gonna hire more people.
Yeah.
We're gonna divest some of these business lines that we have, because they're not as profitable as this one, and it's costing us more money to keep all the people hired. Even though, like, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, I don't think that mindset of like, if we give tax benefits to these large companies, they're going to reinvest it in individuals. That's not the case. They're going to invest it in making themselves more profitable. Which, taxes. No, well, there's no taxes, and there are less regulations, manufacturing and things of that nature. Well, there's less regulation. And Texas is a non-disclosure state also. They ain't got to do something. Well, the thing is, they're not going to tax your income. It's easier. It's more land to build. If I buy something in Texas, like let's say I buy property in Texas, there's damn near no way to figure out who bought it. As somebody that works for a commercial real estate research company, I have to deal with somebody that bought something in Texas. It's very hard to figure out who bought it in Texas, because there's no like required recording. Yeah, like so it's just like, yeah, I would move to Texas too. California, and Texas are too high. The taxes are high, the cost of living is too damn high. The people that live there want too much money. But I'm gonna move to Texas. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's obvious. She'll be all right on the blue wall. She got no interest. She got this. Yeah, that's what I say. You're not gonna. There's no like definitive way to know where this is going. Without some other states popping in. Since what it is. Then I will have a really good idea.
Tomorrow morning, she that close.
She can't lose Pennsylvania though. Yeah, there's only 79%, I think, reported. You got 79% of millions of people. That's 20% of millions. 20%, let's say 20% of 20% of 5 million people is what?
Yeah.
That's a million people.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
That's something that we have all been waiting for. I have just learned from the source close to the counting process that the next batch, the second batch of mail ballots that will be loaded and posted, scheduled to at 11:55 p.m. That will be tens of thousands of ballots. They're still working through it, so narrowing that number down any further, not possible at this time. We'll continue working with it, but it will be tens of thousands of mail ballots that will be posted at 11:55, just before midnight, having to what was the first batch, which ended up being 115,000 mail ballots, which is just narrowing the universe of what's outstanding, getting us closer and closer to what John has been talking about. Once you get 50% of the 50% of the vote in, then you can really start seeing where things are headed. And what we're seeing in Philadelphia, they're not yet at 50%, they're getting closer to it, and these mail-in ballots will be posted at 11:55, we'll get them quite a bit more there.
All right, thanks so much. Let's go to the other side of the Commonwealth. Brian Todd to the vote counting center outside Pittsburgh. Brian, what's the status of the vote there?
Jake, the bottom line is we're heading to the finish line very quickly here in Allegheny County. I'm with David Boyd, the election division's manager of the county. David, it's going to be counted all pretty soon, but by midnight. How much of the voting people will be in?
So I believe we're roughly 98% now reported. I believe by midnight, we're 89% reported. I believe by midnight, it should be around 98.
And to clarify, just about all the mail that's been reported by.
All the mail-ins that we have will be counted this evening. The only thing that will not be are the military overseas ballots, which they have an extra week to return the ballots, and they'll be scanned in like.
The illustration, right, the votes coming in, explain to our viewers what these are and where they're going to be put.
So these yellow bags are the physical paper ballots that voters have voted. They're put in these bags, sealed and locked. Seal numbers are traced for chain of custody, and they will be locked up and kept here.
Just how smoothly has it gone? Because we've heard that it's gone incredibly smoothly here in Allegheny.
So this group that works here on election day, they've gotten really good at this since 2020. I mean, we posted our first batch of approximately 186,000 mail-in ballots by 8:02. And by law, we're not allowed to post any results before 8 o'clock.
Is there anything we can look to be outstanding after midnight tonight?
Just the provisional ballots, which we're sworn in on Friday to start our recount. We'll start searching those provisionals, see how many we have, and start counting them. Again, keep the military down. This whole time get into the system next week.
Any sense of how many of those there are?
Less than 4,000. So.
Thank you very much. Great update. All right, guys, back to you. Allegheny County, close to the finish line here.
All right, thanks so much. Let's do more on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania with Pamela Brown, who's at the voting desk. Pamela, take us through what is left to be counted, what's outstanding.
Well, it's a good question what's going on in the collar counties around Philadelphia. These are the really key collar counties. And Harris County has been trying to drive up turnout as Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery counties where results have been slowly coming in. So I just spoke to an official in Chester County. An official there told me that they just released a large batch of mail-in ballots. So that release was 60,673. And by 1 a.m., I'm told go see more results from the precincts of today's in-person votes. You have to remember they have to take the memory card, drive it in. It's a large county. Now, total ballots counted so far, this is the universe, right? It's 151,950. And then I should note the ballots cast passed in person today there, and this key Collier County is 91,277 for this official. Let's go over to Bucks County. This is another critical Collier County, as John Key has been talking about all night. I'm told results will trickle in as these data cards are being turned from the polling places. An official I was just in touch with, texting with there in Bucks says so far over 90,000 mail-in ballots are accounted for in the results. Total of 151,000. And I also want to note this, that the state will be required to report the outstanding early votes by midnight. So we should get a clearer picture soon there in this critical battleground Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Back to you.
All right, fascinating. And she was just talking about Bucks County. Walk us through Bucks County. This is where Harris had a couple of big events there, including that one with Liz Cheney, really making a play for Republican women, especially in Bucks County. And for Haley, Haley got 155,000 votes for Pennsylvania primary long after 2000 race, but that was one piece of the competition. Two things to say about this. Number one, it's only half the vote. So if you just think we have about 200,000 more votes, right? This is 51%, 103 to 102. So you got roughly 200,000 votes still to come in. Bucks County is the most competitive in Collier County. She sees at 50%, the vice president round up. Again, President Biden wants at 52 round him up. Say that's not even different. Jake, you know the Commonwealth very well. In the competitive swing counties, what could matter right now.
Indeed. CNN can bring you a projection now, folks at home. CNN projects that the state of Oregon will go to Kamala Harris as expected. Oregon, with its 8 electoral votes, will go to Democrat Kamala Harris. Let's take a look at the electoral map. Right now, Donald Trump has 211 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 153 electoral votes. 270 are needed to win. Let's take a look at the key races now. Arizona, Donald Trump in the lead there, 49.6% of the vote. Kamala Harris right behind, 49.5% of the vote. Donald Trump with a roughly 3,000 vote lead. That's 51% of the estimated vote in from the state of Arizona. In battleground Wisconsin, Donald Trump maintaining his lead. 50.4% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 48% of the vote. Donald Trump with a more than 50,000 vote lead right now with 63% of the estimated vote in from the Badger State. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump maintaining his lead, 51% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 47.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with more than 165,000 more votes than Kamala Harris, with more than 76% of the estimated vote in from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead, 50.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 48.3% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than 131,000 vote lead over Kamala Harris. That's for 90% of the estimated vote in. So they got 10% to go there for Georgia, but Donald Trump in the lead. North Carolina, another battleground, Donald Trump still in the lead there with 50.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 47.9% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than 130,000 vote lead over Kamala Harris with an estimated 87% of the votes in. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris is 50.2% of the votes. Donald Trump has 48% of the vote. Has a more than 47% vote lead over Donald Trump with 33% of the vote in there. John, okay?
have to make up 178,000.
Not looking good in Pennsylvania.
It's impossible. But the more you get deeper into the count, the question is after this next big batch of votes in Philadelphia, does it become mission impossible? I think it's what we're looking for. It's waiting for more votes to come off Pennsylvania. And again, from Pennsylvania, and that gets near impossible. Not impossible, but near impossible.
There have been stories written a week or two ago about Democrats in Philadelphia sounding the alarm and telling, basically using the press to send a message to the Harris campaign that they didn't think that the Harris campaign was listening to Philadelphia Democrats enough about the need to improve the margins. And just, Donald Trump lost Pennsylvania in 2020, but he improved his vote count in Philly from 2016 to 2020. And it looks like he's doing that again tonight, even while improving his margins in the college counties as opposed to what happened 4 years ago.
Like that, we don't have the raw numbers that I think it's correct. That is at 22, we found that out, 117,000 votes. Go back and look. He's certainly on track. If he keeps the percentage he's at, like he's at 18% there, he had 132,000 votes. He's at 117,000 votes. Go back, 30. It sure looks like he's overperforming 2020. We're not done yet, but it sure looks like that. And then so the analysis afterwards will be, who is it? Is it black voters in Philadelphia? There's suburban areas outside of Philadelphia there. There's some African black voters there as well. But that would be the analysis. The thing that strikes me is we're going through these states. The thing you heard the last week from the Harris people is that we're on the ground. Our labor allies are on the ground. Our progressive groups are on the ground. Our LGBTQ groups are on the ground. We're knocking on doors. We don't see the Trump people anywhere. But Trump did sort of contract out and get out the vote. I was in that weeks. We didn't see many Trump people out there at all. But what happened in 2016 is Trump's support was organic. It was organic. And so, the Trump campaign says, text and phone calls work to turn out voters. Democrats think it's knocking on the doors. If this map holds up, that's going to be a big conversation about motivating and turning out voters in this technology. What works best? What kind of contact works best? Or, the vice president campaign, they say she only had 110 days. She didn't have enough time to introduce herself. But, that part, we're not done yet. But that's what's going to happen. If that happens, the bigger for you in the Democratic Party. We're not there yet. But as you watch this, I think it is distinctive at the moment. We're not done yet. In 2 presidential elections, Donald Trump lost the popular vote both times. We're just starting to count in the popular state. A long way to go. That could change. That could change. But that would be a trophy for Donald Trump's election. That would be a trophy for
And you also know there are people in the senior echelons of the Trump campaign who say that they still do direct mail because there's seniors, you can't reach seniors through texting and emails. That the way to reach them is with direct mail, which a lot of people in politics today laugh off. But guess who votes more than young people? Seniors. Sarah Seidman. Let's go to Wisconsin if you can, because I want to bring in Sarah Seidman, who's at a vote county center in Milwaukee right now with 66% of the vote in. Donald Trump is in the lead there with 50.6%. In Wisconsin in general, 47.8%. Donald Trump right now in the lead by almost 60,000 votes. Sarah, you have officials with you who can tell us about the outstanding vote in Wisconsin. Still about a third of the state's vote is outstanding. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we just heard a big cheer go up here in Milwaukee at the central count, as they call it, because all the wards have finally reported. So they are counting these ballots as fast as they can. They do believe they're going to be able to give some kind of idea of the count after midnight. It will not take the extra 3 hours.
I'm not nervous. I'm just disappointed.
Behind me, all 13 of them, there was an issue with the door was not locked, and so they, out of abundance of caution, decided that they were to rerun through the absentee ballots, 30,000 of them, but they've been able to do that, and now there are about 80,000 of 108, 325,000 that have already been processed. All right, with me now, we have Patricia Ruiz-Cantu and Douglas Haig, Republican, Democrat, both of them are on the Milwaukee Election Commission. First of all, how are things going And do you think we're gonna find out something soon?
We will. I think things are going really well, even though we had a little hiccup. But, as we united, all the workers and the parties, I think that it's extremely important that we were in the same page and then we had an agreement and everything is going well.
Yeah.
What did you make of this? I know Ron Johnson came out, Republican, and was very, upset with all of this and was sort of making hay about it. What were your thoughts?
Can you hear me, bro?
with these machines?
Well, there was a human error in part of it. So when it was caught, we just simply did a rerun on with the browsing and tabulators, and even probably some of the tabulators should have seen it, but it was caught by one of the observers, brought it to the executive director's attention, and it was acted upon immediately. We took care of it, and yes, we anticipated much further delay than we are. I think we're right on schedule where we anticipated to be earlier. And true, if you can see around and look into the poll workers at work, we both have Democrats and Republicans working side by side. And many have been doing this for many years, and they've become very efficient about it, and they're with the integrity from each group. So I think we're going to be getting those numbers fairly soon. I don't want to say as early as we would like, but it's going to be earlier than what we thought before we had the so to speak.
Just smoking, what do you think of the number of votes? Are you seeing the numbers larger than in 2020? And what are you seeing now?
Actually, I'm not seeing this as large as I thought before. But most of us were going out to the polls earlier too. The polls were steady next poll. What I did see is same-day registrations. That will seem to be a much more increase at all the polling sites, and not just one geographical area, whether it be whatever demographics, but it was all over that was encompassed. And I talked to each chief inspector, and that is the area that I saw a much increase in the participation of same-day registration.
Same-day registration, we saw that also in Cedarburg today. A lot of people coming and registering and voting. Thank you both so much. We should just make very clear, you heard it here from a Republican and a Democrat who are election commissioners, that there was agreement. This is going to be a free and fair election here in Milwaukee. People are watching every single bit of this and agreeing that things are going as smoothly as possible after that hiccup earlier today.
So much appreciated. Let's take a look at Milwaukee and Wisconsin at large. Donald Trump in the lead with 66% of the vote in the state in general. Tell me about the wow counties, if you could. You're right around Milwaukee. Wow. Let me get to it in a second. I just want to interest. Number one, we've learned about 30,000 every year. Before you know the facts are. Sorry, that to be true, especially about voter integrity. That's how it's supposed to work. Democratic Republicans and side by side, Democrats and Republicans throughout the room. They're fine. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They had a human error. We're all human, and they're fixing it. Right? That's how it works. Sometimes it needs to wait a little while, but the people in the room, eyeballs, both parties, eyeballs, and everything's going to be fine. But the point Mr. Hague made at the end is instructive to me in the sense that if you come to here, you're down with the vice president, you're losing by just shy of 60,000 votes. This is the number one county. It is 17%, 16, 17% of the state population. You're getting 66%. So you say, okay, there's still 40% of the vote that come in. But to make the point, he said the turnout was great. Let's see what these final numbers are. If you look at that number right there, look at 176,000. Joe Biden carried Wisconsin 4 years ago. He's at 317,000 and 69% of the vote, right? 317,000 and 69% of the vote. He's at 66% of the vote. And the raw math, right? You need the high percentage. You need that raw math to overcome what is happening in all this red, right? Especially one more check to get you to your wows. Dane County is 95%. Right? This is Madison, University of Wisconsin. Young voters, college area, tends to be more liberal. 74% for her, 242,000. Again, Biden's numbers higher and the math is higher. So it happens about that's how you win or lose battleground states. Get out the vote and get out the vote and like so in a place in the state won by 20,000 votes or something. Just right there. Waukesha County, just here recently, right? This is a place that hey women, you don't have to tell your husband who you're going to vote for. If you believe in reproductive freedom in a conservative county, vote parents, just don't tell your husband. One of the places they don't well, 91%, we'll see, but 40% turn number, if you round that up. We go back in time, it's a tiny bit, but it's not a significant jump. Where the president was 4 years ago, Trump at 50, at 60% if you round up then, he's at 59. So a little bit, maybe a tiny inroad there for him. Maybe moving around up here. You go to Washington County, this is the big 70% of the vote here for Trump. Let's just double check it and come back. He improved up a little bit, he improved a little bit. And then you come over here to the, I did wow back for you there, the whole the end. But you go to Ozaki here, and the former president is at 55% of the vote in 2020, and he's at 56, roughly the same, but a little bit, so Trump is not underperforming, maybe within the margin. But you see that well behind where President Biden was, and now you're waiting on this. I mean, there are some other small things. Let's take a look and see what else is out there. But as you can see, the biggest thing is here, and some of these votes out here, if you're in the Trump campaign, we're talking about she come back. But if you're in the Trump campaign, you're also saying, push. Is there more coming in for us? And the answer is yes. Yes. When you look up there, so the next thing from Milwaukee is how many votes? What is her percentage? How does it affect statewide math? And then how much is left? How much is left? And your biggest area you have to determine that. Because then again, so I come up here and look at this. Again, Brown County, Green Bay, blue collar workers. Trump's getting 61, Vice President's getting 37, 38 if you want to round that up. That matters. Oh my God, that matters. He almost shot almost 10 points, right? 9 points. In a battleground state, he's up and she's down in a place where if you're the Harris campaign, you're not going to win here. You're not going to win here. But if you make it that close, instead of that close, you get a better result. Period. Simple math.
Let's go on to the third of the Wall States, Michigan. Jim Sciutto is at the Boca County Center in Detroit. And Jim, give us an update on vote in Wayne County. Tell us.
Well, let me tell you, we've got a ton of Secretary's office really every few minutes here trying to figure out when we're going to get another batch of Detroit or surrounding Wayne County votes. And we're told very soon, they won't put a figure on very soon, but very soon. We know they're working hard, calculating those numbers, counting those votes, and there have been no issues. They're not countering any issues with machines, etc. This is just a process of getting the work done. We've also been in touch with Macomb County, where we were outside of Detroit earlier today. They're also expecting, they said, another batch of votes to be reported quite soon. And here where we are in Detroit, this is the location where they've been counting the absentee ballots. Just in the last hour, another 2,500 or so absentee ballots came in. That brings us pretty much to the end of the 100,000 that they've expected. And at some point in the next hour, we'll see another U-Haul truck come in with the remaining absentee ballots they've collected from drop boxes around the city here. And they've been counting as they've been going. Remember, because they started counting last Monday, they didn't have to wait till election day. So those numbers will be done soon. I will say the Secretary of State told me earlier this evening that she's moving up her expectation that by midday tomorrow, they could report final unofficial results saying she believes they might be able to do that tonight, perhaps after midnight in the next couple of hours. But of course, they'll have to get those Wayne County numbers done first. I should note, the Secretary of State just walked in here to monitor the counting of those absentee ballots that she's been doing in precincts around the state.
All right, Jim Sciutto, thank you so much, Jim Sciutto, in Detroit. I mean, it's 2024. They only get 16% reported in Wayne County, home of Detroit. One of the things you look for is lack of consistency. That since Wayne County
Here in West Palm Beach cheering.
So would you like over? And literally not. And you can see here, especially that economy, that economy is not bad. Like, economy is not bad. If y'all talking about like, focusing on groceries and other things, and other prices are going down, or reasonable, it's like people don't understand this. Prices are going to increase. If your business is a house, treatment for costs for over 15 dogs. And just
Do not use the dogs with serious infections. They cause worse than distributing parasitic infestations or pre-existing cancer and serious infections. New neoplasias have been observed. Do not use the dogs with 12 months old.
Well,
Your strongest.
Without spikes, the way houses.
you can't let that be there.
Troubles and operations just around.
They really, I do feel like Democrats for sure fumbled the Middle East issue. They fumbled a lot. Yeah, pretty much the issue. So everybody. Got some questions to me to check.
Business cards. But we also print these and those. And I agree with that. We print your brand line everything so customers can notice you, remember you, fall into love with you. It's training. We print it with 25% off for new customers at fitsprint.com.
All there is with education podcast. And CNN has another projection for you. CNN projects Donald Trump will win 3 out of the 5 electoral votes from the state of Nebraska. Allow me a second to explain. Nebraska and Maine allocate their electoral votes partly in addition to the statewide free votes according to congressional district. That's already too complicated, probably. Anyway, put it this way. Donald Trump has won 3 out of the 5 electoral votes against 2. We do not know yet if Donald Trump has 3 of the 5. That means 3 more electoral votes for Donald Trump. What does that mean for the electoral man? Donald Trump has 230 electoral votes. He is 40 electoral votes away from winning. Kamala Harris has 165 electoral votes. She is 105 electoral votes away from winning. Let's see what the states we have not called where their vote counts are. Pennsylvania. Donald Trump is in the lead there with 1.2% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 47.7% of the vote. Donald Trump is ahead of her by more than 206,000 votes. That's 83% of the estimated vote. That's Pennsylvania. Michigan, Donald Trump up 51.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 46.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with a more than 111,000 vote lead with an estimated 44% of the voting from Michigan. Wisconsin now, Donald Trump the lead there too. 50.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 47.6% of the vote. Donald Trump almost 80,000 votes ahead of her with 3/4 of the vote, 74% of the estimated vote from the Baptist state. And Georgia, Donald Trump is up 15.7%. Kamala Harris is 48.4%. Donald Trump more than 118,000 votes ahead of her with an estimated 93% of the estimated vote in. Arizona, Donald Trump is, I think there too, with 49.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 49.3% of the vote. He is more than 7,500 votes ahead of her right now. But they still have about 48% of the vote to count, 52% of the estimated vote in. In Nevada, Donald Trump is in the lead with 73% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 26.2% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than 10,000 vote, almost 11,000 vote lead. That is with only 2% of the estimated vote in. As we follow these crucial undecided races, we are already also getting closer to another poll closing. 4 more electoral votes were taken the next hour in the heat of the battle to reach 270. So every electoral vote counts. We're just minutes away from voting ending in the reliably blue state of Hawaii. Over to John King now for basketball. John.
So take a quick look. You just looked at the numbers. Just want to look very quickly. These 3 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, determined fate. Then she can come back. As we wait to see those results, I just want to show you something. Bring it up. Remember January 6th. Donald Trump was finished. Even Donald Trump is done as a politician. I want to show you something. This is Trump overperforming his 2020 performance by 3% or more. Right? This is statewide. We're not done with some of these counts out here, but this will change a little bit. But Donald Trump overperforming 2020 after January 6th, 2021. That's the statewide. Look at this. Let's look at this when you go to full count. Look at how many counties across America. 994 plus 4,600 plus counties and townships, especially up this way. Part of the country, they don't call counties and call townships, but in nearly 993 right now. This will change as we go through, but Donald Trump is overperforming. Look at where they are. He's mostly performing in red. His vote is getting higher in the areas where he went elected. Yes, there are some blue places where he's overperforming, but just look at Battleground, Pennsylvania. Look at all these red counties, places that Trump wins, where he's overperformed by 3% of what he did in 2020. Then you come out here, let's go up to Battleground, Michigan. These are the decisive states left on the board right now. Look at the areas, those are his base areas. He's getting more. Same over here in Battleground, Wisconsin. So the former president of the state, given up for dead, January 6, 2021, is running stronger now than he did in the last campaign.
All right, John King, thank you so much. Every electoral vote counts, and 4 more are on the line right now. As polling places are about to close in Hawaii, and we project Kamala Harris will win the state of Hawaii with its 4 electoral votes. Not a surprise. Hawaii, a reliably Democratic vote, but that does mean a pickup of 4 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump has 230. He is 40 votes away from winning. Kamala Harris has 169 electoral votes. She is 101 votes away from the 270 needed to win. John King.
Okay, let's look at the map where we are right now. We'll go through some of these battleground states, but we're still waiting. But just look at the map right now. You see a lot of red, right? So let's look at the 2020 map. You see the blue, right? The blue wall state, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, right? Now what? Where we are now. 2024 looks a lot different than 2020. But at the moment, it's pretty simple. 2016. Donald Trump won the blue wall. Donald Trump won North Carolina. Donald Trump won Georgia. Donald Trump won Arizona. The only difference would be Hillary from the 2016 didn't carry Nevada. Donald Trump leads there right now if we come back in 2024. But it's just starting 2024. Let me go up here, do this, and you go there in 2024. So that's the one, that's just a dramatic change when you come here. And so Donald Trump is remaking the map again at the moment. But the question is there any way for Harris to come back? Again, we give it Donald Trump North Carolina. So let's see where we are in Georgia. If Donald Trump also carries Georgia, the vice president cannot afford to lose Pennsylvania. Yes, Nevada's out there, Arizona's out there, Michigan, Wisconsin are out there. 19. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So can she come back in Georgia to stop that from happening? She's limiting her. If he wins Georgia, her path is so limited. So the 118,000 votes right now, the state decided at 11,000. Donald Trump is 93%. That's an important number. The vote counted is ahead by nearly 120,000 votes. So if you're looking, this is where they would have to be. You can pick up votes elsewhere, but that's where most of the votes are. That's supposed to have the state population right in the metropolitan area around. So what's out there? Are there 5 outstanding votes out there? So let's take a look. The answer is yes. We can the colors. You don't see that. The answer is yes. They're out there. This is. You're at the point now where you essentially. You need these votes to come in, get overwhelming numbers for you. What you do see, there's a mathematical possibility. This is why the Harris campaign is on the phone. This is why I actually assume Donald Trump is not going to say anything, because he's hoping that this one comes off the board as well. You're looking at the math right there. It's possible. So we're waiting for more votes in Georgia. So then you come up, Jake, and we'll look at the blue ball states in a minute to see if any of the math is changing. But with the map right now, you would so much rather be Donald Trump than the vice president.
All right, we have projection down. CNN projects that Kamala Harris will win the Commonwealth of Virginia. Commonwealth of Virginia with its 13 electoral votes will go to the Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris. What does that mean for the electoral math? Let's take a look. With 270 electoral votes needed to win, Donald Trump is only 40 behind that, with 230. Kamala Harris has 182 electoral votes. This is for you a key race alert. Where are we with all the states that we have not projected yet? Pennsylvania, Donald Trump in the lead, 51.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 47.6% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than 213,000 vote lead over her, with 84% of the estimated vote in from Pennsylvania. In battleground Michigan, Donald Trump up there, 51.2% of the vote. Kamala Harris is 47% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 107,000 vote lead over Harris, but there's still about 55% of the vote that has not been counted in Michigan. A lot of votes to count in Michigan. Wisconsin now, Donald Trump 51% of the vote. Kamala Harris 47.4%. Donald Trump with a more than 90,000 vote lead over Harris. That's with more than 3/4 of the votes counted in Wisconsin, 77% of the vote. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump up 50.7%, so Harris is 48.4%. Donald Trump with a 118,838 vote lead over Harris, with 93% of the estimated vote in. In battleground Arizona, Donald Trump up 49.8% to Harris's 49.3%. Donald Trump with a 9,600 plus vote lead. That's with slightly more than half of the vote counted in Arizona, 52%. In Nevada, Donald Trump up 73% to Harris's 26.2% of the vote. Donald Trump with an almost 11,000 vote lead. But that is, again, only 2% of the estimated vote in Nevada.
well, maybe all the ones that are out of from the campus, and, and it juices up the number a little bit. But if you're looking at that now, you're underperforming the president of the United States. And Donald Trump's at 32% and 26%. If that gap holds, and it is improvement like that holds, I'm sorry, go ahead. That's a big deal.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the things here from the Arab American and Muslim American community in places like Michigan is not that they were going to vote for Donald Trump, but they either were not going to vote or they were going to vote for Jill Stein or Cornel West. I'm not sure if Cornel West was on the ballot in Michigan, but these numbers don't add up to 100 voters. So I'm guessing that there is a better than my guess would be. There's going to be a better than average showing for Jill Stein in Michigan than in other states.
Right, and she worked it hard. She was out there quite a bit every trip up that. Because she was in the state or just in the state.
Yeah. So just to explain it. Now, one of the things I've heard about people talking about Michigan is everybody in the media, all you talk about is Arab American, Muslim American vote, but really the issue in terms of a big sizable, bigger chunk of votes is white working class voters, union voters, because the Trump campaign ran ads slamming Harris's position on electric vehicles, EVs. And then that is actually going to be more significant ultimately. That was, this is just their projection, than the Arab American, Muslim American vote. Is there any way we can gauge that, how well or poorly she did compared to Biden when it comes to white, non-college educated union voters?
David would have the exit polls because look at union households. That's the question. The exit polls, I can show you some counties where we were. 3 times I went out there to talk to union auto worker groups. And I want to just say this up front. There are more automobile manufacturing jobs in the United States today than at any point during the Trump presidency. I repeat, there are more auto manufacturing jobs in the United States today than at any point in the Trump presidency. However, the EV debate is a debate. Stellantis just laid off 1,100 people, in part because they say they have electric vehicles sitting on the lot. The union says that's BS. It's corporate greed. They're not keeping their word. But this is a conversation. Are they going too bad? At a minimum, are they going too bad? There are some auto workers who say, why are you forcing this on us? There are others saying the infrastructure is not in place. Culturally, people aren't ready for it. Why are you going so fast? So one of the places you'll find that is right here in Macomb County. We've got Joseph Knowles, just laid off from Stellantis, a black union auto worker. Nobody in this family never going to Republican for president. He was going for Donald Trump. Everybody in this family was mad at him. This is where you find it right here. Bill Gauthier is a Ford worker in Macomb County who wanted to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. When he dropped out to back Trump, Bill Gauthier said, that's great. I love them both. And he voted for Trump a 3rd time. So some of them have been in Trump's camp, like Bill Gauthier. But Joseph Knowles is a +1, voted Democrat all his life, right? So there in Macomb County, we got a long way to go here, 36%. But Trump at 58, when you round that up, then Trump at 53, right there. So again, we'll see if that sustains itself. Yeah. So 40. If that's the number.
There you go. And you can see why not all of that change is from that one issue or that one that I'm not going to describe. But that is quite significant given polls. Instead of Pamela Brown at the voting desk, let's jump to Wisconsin if we could, because Pamela wants to talk about Milwaukee and what's going on there.
Yeah, I've been talking to officials there, Milwaukee County as well as the city. Let's look at Milwaukee County right now. A large portion of the vote that remains is from Milwaukee City itself. This is the largest county. This is the largest city in Wisconsin. According to a source in Milwaukee County, 9 out of 19 municipalities are green reported. And the source also says that the county clerk there expects all results from Milwaukee County to be reported between 2 and 4 a.m. tonight, Central Time. So these results coming in overnight there from Milwaukee County. That is the expectation. Now, let's dive in here to the Milwaukee City. I just spoke to an official there. Milwaukee City has 27,724 mail-in ballots left to be counted so far. In addition, officials are still waiting for results from 4 wards still. Those would be the day vote, so from election day. So there's still quite a bit to go to count tonight there in Milwaukee City. For context, 69% were provided in 2020. And as I mentioned, this is the largest county in Wisconsin. So we're keeping a close eye on this.
All right, Pamela, thanks so much. Let's take a look at Wisconsin as long as Pamela drove us here.
So a critical point she makes, more wards in the city of Milwaukee still have not reported their election day vote. And again, anecdotally, just texting people out and say they said turnout was good. They weren't saying great, they were saying good. So you wait. But again, so we're waiting for the city. This is Milwaukee plus but she's at 66%, and Joe Biden's at 69%. So when those city of Milwaukee votes come in, that not only does that percentage need to move, but that math needs to change quite significantly if you're trying to make up that. Now, 96,000, that's better than 150,000, right? Simple math, people. We always say politics can be very complicated. Sometimes it comes down to basic arithmetic. Are there enough votes still out there to overcome a 96,000 vote lead? And so if Ben says 4 big wards are still out in Milwaukee City and a little bit more in Milwaukee County, the answer is maybe. Right? Again, if you're getting to the point where you're drawing to an inside straight flush, but maybe. So then you look around another Democratic area. Again, hopefully get 55% of the vote. I just want to compare that. We'll say that's okay. But it's not a ton. It's just not a ton of people there. Then you come down and across. You're looking at the blue area. You're saying is there anything left? Not much left, right? It's not a huge swing anyway. So even if you pick up some votes, you're not picking up a ton there. So if you're looking at this map now, I just want to check both our percentage here. 95% of Dane County. And these other blue counties around it, I'll hit them for you. You can see they're pretty small population wise. They're not tiny, but again, you're at 95% Rock County, 95%, 92% Lafayette County. That one is a little bit smaller. So again, the math's getting really hard if you're trying to figure out the area in Wisconsin. And I would say simply that it comes down to that. And those big states that are out.
May I do a personal prerogative? May I see the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania? We haven't checked in there in a while. That's obviously a place near and dear to my heart. And I have questions about it. One of them is Allentown, which is blue right now. Allentown, the town and city of Allentown is 54% Latino. 54% and 54%. And Pennsylvania, as we've discussed, has the third largest Puerto Rican population on the mainland, behind only New York and New York and Florida. So my question is, how is she doing in this Latino area compared to Joe Biden 4 years ago?
Again, we cannot go granular just in the city of Alabama.
Right.
You can look at Lehigh County here, right? And I can already tell you, 51 to 48, through the Trump campaign, sure, you'd like to win it. But you're looking at 48% of Lehigh County, and you're feeling pretty good because you were 46 last time. Right? And again, within a battleground state, you think margins within the margin, battleground within the battleground. So, Joe Biden, 53% with 98,000 votes. The vice president at 50% with 93,000 votes. Now, we're not completely done there, but that 5,000 votes makes a big difference. It just does. Right? So that's there. Right? So then you come out here and you come up, let's just move on up. Right? Carbon County, look at this, Trump getting 73% of the vote. He's improved. That's what he's overperformed himself. And then you move up here. This is Lackawanna County, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's hometown. It's a tough, competitive blue collar area, but 51 to 48 now. 54 to 45. 4%. Right. It can be the whole thing. A couple thousand votes here, a couple thousand votes there. I want to show you.
By the way, can I just point out,
Erie is now flipped.
Erie, which has always voted with the presidential victor in Pennsylvania and nationally, is now with
That's good. But let's see where the turnout is there. Again, it's one of the 25. They're at 95%. It's very close, but it's always very close. So you see Erie County, very close there. And I just want to come across the state, Northampton County. So you're on you have your Buffalo, New York ward, your New Jersey here. You got 52 to 47 there. It's not done yet, but the two only pivot counties. Twice for Obama, then for Trump, then for Biden. And the moment to go back to Trump, I just want to show one more thing we haven't shown tonight. I just want to bring this up. It's not here. It's here. It is here. Sorry. I'll figure this out eventually. I promise you. I just have to really good one. Sort of come in here. Come on. Show you this. So let's go out nationally first. Everyone's been talking all night long about the headline. There'll be a lot of questions about this after the fact. This is not a good environment for any incumbent. Kamala Harris is the incumbent vice president. What this shows you is not good. This shows you the darker the county, the more that county has been hit by inflation. Meaning, the darker the county, the more cost of living, energy prices, gas prices, housing prices in a lot of places have outpaced wage increases. Right? Try to find me. See the green?
Yeah, what does that mean? That's
the county where your wages have outpaced inflation. You can use a hand. You will fill one hand in the more than 4,000 counties and townships in the United States. You use one hand to fill out the counties where wages have outpaced inflation. So I just want to come back into your comment.
Oh my goodness.
So back into your comment. The darker the county, the more punishing, the more inflation has outpaced your wages. Yes, Lord. I mean, the fact that she's doing as well in the suburbs is a testament to the Democratic strength there. But you see in these other places, it's just that was the headwind. And that came up. I can tell you it's road for 15 months, and that came up from the first trip to the last trip, even for people voting for Harris, even for people gladly and proudly voting for Harris, who said, it still sucks when I go to the grocery store.
Yeah, and that's also why, the right track, wrong track numbers are 75, wrong track 25, but the election's not 75%, 25, because there are people who think it's wrong track, but they're still going to vote for the Democrat. Yes, this is difficult to fight against if you're in the incumbent.
That's North Carolina, especially if you're trying to win back. Not the dark color scheme, it gets worse as you go west. That's what I'm going to say. In Georgia, look, this is the Atlanta suburb, right? If she loses just a little tiny bit, right? Look down here. These are working class people, right? And then you're absolutely right. Then you come up here and you look in Arizona. That's Maricopa County. That's the largest county. Up here, you see Democratic.
He's winning Maricopa County.
He is at the, well, that's just the, let's see, come up there. It's close. That one's close still at that. As you bring that up. And then you come here. This to me, of all the visits, you want to talk to places that still has the COVID body groups, unemployment hit 30%, twice the national average. And then the cost of living. I mean, look at it right there, where, again, the north of the county, the more, out here is housing more than anything. Housing in Vegas, a lot of people rent. There's not a lot of land to build new houses. So the rents go up. And once the COVID moratorium on rent increases went up, rents went up big shoots. And a lot of working class people out there complaining about that. So, and so
I wasn't done with Pennsylvania, but hold on, because Pamela, we're going to go to Pennsylvania because I'm going to throw Pamela. She has some information on Georgia, if you could. There you go. Pamela, what do you got for us in Georgia?
More information in Georgia. I'm getting from Gabriel Sterling, the top election official there. The margin right now in Georgia is 118,000 votes, right? 100,000 votes are outstanding right now. This is what I'm being told from Gabriel Sterling. Now, he said the split will go marginally for Harris. So let's break down what we know about where some of that outstanding vote is. Chatham, 40,000 outstanding, I'm told. This is a county that went to Biden in 2020. Harris, outstanding, 18,000. This is a county that went to Trump in 2020. And then you have the counties of DeKalb and Fulton. DeKalb has 3,000 outstanding ballots. Fulton has 2,000 outstanding ballots. Again, just to recap, tight margin, 118,000, 100,000 votes still out in Georgia. And Gabriel Sterling says it's the split coming from that. I believe markedly his prediction is for Harris. This is what the data is showing right now. Back to you.
John, do you have any questions for Pamela?
do you say the total outstanding votes, the 100,000?
He said 100,000 votes out.
Well,
And so I'm just giving you a little snapshot of where some of those places are. Where are you going to find out these results from these counties? He did not have a timeline exactly for that, but hopefully soon.
But the significance, obviously, the Donald Trump right now has a margin of 118,838 votes, and you're saying there's 100,000 left.
if he's being literal, sometimes the 100,000, they're getting calls from counties that they say 20,000, it's really 22.
Right.
Maybe 33.
John,
But if he
can I
thinks,
just jump in?
yes, please.
Actually, we asked about numbers, and actually by the law, they have to have the actual numbers. So, I understand your point, but I think they do have more precise numbers based on what the law requires.
Yeah.
Even if she won them all, there's 100,000 left, right? If she won them all and she won't, he's 108.
So set marginally for Harris, that means probably like 53, 47 or something along those lines. Interesting. We'll have a decision desk up and talk to the people in Georgia. Can I go back to Pennsylvania just for 1 second? I want to look at Philly for a second because it was so important. It's so important for every Democrat to drive up the margins here. Harris is with 78% reported. Harris is at 78.1%. Donald Trump's 20%. We've already talked about this. This is a better performance by Donald Trump than in 2020 and also in 2016. But watch where he is, right? You can look at it either way. He was at 18%, now he's about 20%. If we go all the way back to time when he won the state, he was at 15%. The third party counties matter a little bit there. More statewide, they didn't build up a little bit. So look at, just track Donald Trump in Philadelphia, right? Philadelphia. 15% and 108,000 votes in 2016.
18%, 132,000 votes in 2020. We're not quite done in 2024, but it's a lower vote count. Although it's like margins. Yeah, because we're not yet. He needs that number. He's that's going to pass the last one. That's what the margin. Again, she's at 78%. And there are some places that are swing counts when you're starting to plan to run for president, and you know how much Trump, how deep Trump supported across Pennsylvania. You know you have to do it here. You just have it back. It's that. I mean, 30% of the state population. You're going to offset that. You just got to run it up. You just got to run it up here. And she's at 78%. He was at 81%. This will be the conversation. If this plays out the way it's going right now, this will be the conversation. What's happening in urban America, both in terms of the numbers, the turnout, the mass, and the percentage.
So,
We're talking about. So what, right now, because we were told about the Lago, essentially, this is a watch party, that was a dinner, they had giant screens, but the plan was always that if Donald Trump was going to come over, there would